So last time I got an NPC, well, improved the existing NPC that I had created, and I've now created, following Mr. Taft Creates tutorial, I've actually created a mini map, which is something I really don't like in games. I find myself like recently I've been playing San Andreas, the definitive edition version, and one of the issues I have with the Grand Theft Auto games is I spend more time looking at the corner of the screen, following the fucking mini map, than I do actually playing the game. I think some games, such as like Breath of the Wild, that has more of a dynamic. What's the term? It's just better. Was it diegetic? Is it diegetic or non-diegetic? I can't remember. It's one of the two. And the same with like the compass marker that you get in games like Skyrim. I find those to be a lot more better because you're not constantly staring at the bloody corner of the screen. So now this one I was quite impressed by. Sorry, this looks like a bit of a mess at the moment. And also I've got two audio listeners in the scene. I've got to ensure that there's exactly one audio listener in the scene. I don't know where that's come from. I think that might be something. Anyway, so if I go to the game and I start, and here we are. So you can see in the bottom of this corner there's like a little green box that kind of moves around. So basically, you may notice that actually relates to the position of my player character. Oh, let's get the fuck out of there. So yeah, if I go to the top here, near to the top, I'm kind of hitting near where the green end of that green area is. Now I can I can give all of these, like all the enemies, the same kind of marker as well. That as you can see there, the player character has like a little face in the bottom corner that kind of stays in the middle. And yeah, I could actually give all the characters and everything that's in this one scene, I can put them here in the little mini map. Wouldn't be too hard to do, to be honest. Basically, it's a case of I opened up the player prefab, and I've actually added a mini-map marker and a mini-map camera. The camera is actually like a mini version of the camera that governs everything that you see, but it's part of the actual player. So yeah, this sounds kind of complicated. It kind of is, but what I found quite interesting was there wasn't any. I didn't need to write any scripting for this. This is all an inbuilt function within Unity. So if I go back to the canvas here, can I go to the canvas? Oh, no. Oh yeah, I'm in game on. I need to go to scene. So yeah, so here's the canvas. So in the canvas, I now have a mask, which is a circle, a white circle basically, and then I've got the overlay, which is like what kind of looks like the border or the bezel of a clock face almost, if that makes sense. In the middle is a raw image, which is the minimap texture, which is basically just a blank image. And then what I've got here and that's the canvas. So just to iterate or reiterate, the canvas is basically the UI. This is what we see when we play a video game. And now the player, if I open up the prefab, can I zoom in on the player? There it is. I've actually created, as a child of the player, I know it sounds odd, but that's what the technical term is. As a child of the player, there is a minimap marker and a minimap camera. So there you can see the little camera there. And so basically what's happening is everything that's happening on the screen is being copied, but it has its own sprites associated with it, which, as you can see here, is the player marker. So if I open up the player marker, yeah, here you go. So, so as you can see there, it's basically just it's just the head of the player, and that is so. What's actually happening? If I go to game again, the game, I'm controlling the player, but also what's happening is every movement that I make is being replicated and reproduced in the corner of the screen. So at the moment, I'm kind of playing two games at once. So it sounds odd, but that's pretty much what happens. Every time you're playing a game like Grand Theft Auto and there's a mini map, God, he moves so fast. And also, yeah, there's an issue with all the, can you see that? I'm getting that issue again with all the squares and not everything. So I need to like, basically I've added more more stuff to it. So I'm going to have to update the, what's it called? The atlas, the image atlas. I'm going to have to do that at some point. But yeah, that's kind of cool, I suppose. Yeah, so yeah, waffled on a little bit, but yeah, that's what I've got so far, and yeah, I look forward to getting rid of this fucking mini map because I don't like mini maps in games. So I know how to do it now. I don't need it. So yeah,